Hello, this is Manatra Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is August 18, 2013. This is our Ichimoku analysis for the currency Forex market, where we cover all the currencies out there. So let's begin. I know we got a lot of email requests to sit there and go back to a regular format for weekly and bi-weekly. We definitely will be starting in September, just being summer months, been spending a lot of time with the family and stuff like that. Also, been traveling a lot doing presentations in Ichimoku. Anyways, this is our normal disclaimer. It's to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts you're going to see are basically from TradeStation. Here is our contact details. ichimokutrade.com is our website. You could access our Twitter feed, our Facebook feed, what else? Free videos, and various other information out there that's free. All you do is just register and you can get access to all that, including our multiple time frame emails and also our blog. Here's our email and our office location, phone numbers, if you need to contact us for any questions or anything. Okay, so let's go straight to the charts because that's what we're here for. And let's start looking at currency. So remember, on the daily time frame is basically on the left. The right hand side is basically the weekly. Remember, our goals on these videos are to look at the long-term picture, not the short-term, because the short-term could be kind of deceiving sometimes and kind of get you into trades that you really shouldn't be. So if you look at Australian CAD, this is still very bearish. It's holding the resistance level basically at 94.20. Support on this one's going to be about 93.45. So it's holding that resistance level right now, right around 94.20. Well, let's just say 94.76. And it's been very, very strong going down. That's a minor pullback to the 94.76 because that's a minor resistance. So this thing is still very, very strong going down. If you're not in it bearish, don't get in it now. It's kind of deadly unless you're day trading it for a small number of pips to maybe retest a low. But right now, long term, it's too late. You got to wait for a medium to major pullback to enter this one. Australian yen. It's bullish trending, believe it or not. Still, it's gone for a major pullback right now. Basically bounced off the support at 86 even. Resistance right now, minor resistance it's running into is basically 89.73. It's got to break that level to sit there and start going back up to 95.90. And if it breaks that level, then it could sit there and retest a high at 104. Possibilities of this thing breaking 104 in the near term is going to be probably slim now. Since it's gone for a major pullback, and the major pullback was very extreme. So be very careful. If you're going to try to go bullish on this one, you could play it to about 94, 90, at least it's got a 95, 90, but it's got to break the resistance level at 89.73 to get there. Australian Switzy, this is bearish trending on both the daily and weekly. It is kind of bottoming out now because it kind of hit a major support at the bottom here. Let me shrink this down here. Roughly around, let's just say 82.50. Resistance level on this one's going to be 85.95. Minor support on this one's going to be 84.07. Australian yen. This is still going on very, very strong. Not a lot of people looking at it. I don't know why. Because it's, believe it or not, it's the best trend currency right now for the last couple of months. And it's still moving on very, very strong. And it is still very strong going down. It held the resistance at 1473, and it kind of broke the minor resistance to around I would say 1350, and it's kind of going down to retest the lows now. So the next resistance minor level is going to be 1381 and then 1473. This will not go for a pullback, major pullback at all until at least breaks 1473. I know a lot of people are trying to pick the bottom and go reversal, but it's kind of crazy. The first level you got to break is 1473 to go bullish. Counter trend at least, but it is bearish and it will be for a long time. Australian USD is bearish too. Notice one thing: Australian CAD is bearish. This is the only exception, but it was going down. It did a major pullback. Australian Switzy is bearish. Australian New Zealand is bearish. and Australian USD is still very strong bearish. So all of these, believe it or not, long-term Australian currency is weak compared to all these other currencies right now. But it is getting to the bottom on some of them. So you can look for some counter trend scenarios, but you're not ready, and you possibly won't be for a little while. And you could see this is still very, very strong to the downside here. Minor support on this one's going to be 90.33. Resistance is going to be 9,200. So overall, basically, Australian currency is weak. CAD Switzy. Here, if you look at the weekly time frame here, basically nothing going on here. This is still very bearish. You could see here it's at a minor resistance level right now, basically. If it holds that resistance level and starts going back to 8,800, which is support, then it's going to start a bearish trend, believe it or not, to the downside. It can go really, really long to the downside. So this is a very key resistance level right now that has to hold. If it breaks 91.85, then basically it's going to get to the top of the consolidation pattern, which is basically 9,400. CAD Yen, really not doing anything at all right now. Just kind of hovering around, hovering around. It closed here. You could see Friday. A lot of people were trying to go short here, and it closed here. You could see here on Friday. Just one thing I'm checking here. At 94.69. This is at a major resistance level. It's going to be not basically 95. Let's just say that right now, which is kind of holding. Support on this one's going to be about 93.82. So a lot of people are thinking that this is going to undergo its major pullback right now, but it has to sit there and hold the 95 level in order for it to go and basically go down and basically pull all the way down. I know a couple of days last week it bleeped above the 95 level, but it basically closed below the 95 level in each day, as you notice. So 95 is a key level, but they are playing games around that resistance level because a lot of people are looking at that level right now. Support, this basically, as you could see here, support is going to be 93.82. If it breaks that, then this will sit there and go for a major pullback where it possibly easily could probably get to 90 and possibly break down below that. And believe it or not, it's still a major pullback. CAD Switzy here, it's not as weak as the CAD Yen. You could see here, CAD Switzy still, sorry, Switzy Yen is still very strong. It's at a minor resistance level right now, which is basically right around 105, about 46. Support in this one's going to be basically 102.42. But that is strong compared to CAD Yen. Euro USD is still bullish trending as far as the weekly is concerned, kind of getting overextended right now. Major support is going to be 4,400, and resistance is going to also quickly be the pivot high up there, and let's just say that's about 4,900, 5,000 up there. Euro CAD still very strong as far as the weekly is concerned. As two euro currencies are very strong right now at a minor resistance level right now, basically at, well, let's just say 36.50. It's got to hold there. If it does and keeps on going higher, the weekly trend will continue. If not, it's going to enter a counter trend and try to pull back to at least about 34.35. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens on that one. Euro Switzy, believe it or not, still bullish, but has not trended like the other Euro, Australian, and Euro CAD. It's at a minor resistance level right now, which is pretty much right around 83, 85. Support on this guy is going to be about 23.61. Euro DKK, there's a bleep on the chart, so let's ignore that. Euro Pound. Notice this one started breaking down, so the pound has been a little stronger than the euro right now, compared to the others, whereas the euro has been very strong. So this kind of broke its support that it had roughly around about 8,600, and it's trying to get to its next major. It's actually at a minor support level right now. Major support level is going to be basically around 8,400, and resistance now is going to be 86.18. Euro Yen, still very strong. Up here, resistance level is going to be 130.34. Support is going to be 128. Euro NOK, still very strong right now, still very bullish, believe it or not. Support on this one's going to be 73.91. Resistance on this guy is going to be basically around 9,000. Euro yen, it's in counter trend mode right now. We're stuck between 66.89 and 61.16. Euro SEK, really not doing anything. This is kind of like the boring exotic out there, but it is stuck between 70.36 and 57.60. Euro USD here, really not doing anything. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's bullish or bearish. But this thing's just consolidating between 3,400 and, believe it or not, 2,800. That's a big wide range, which is about 600 pips. But at the end of the day, this is not a long-term picture at all until it breaks this whole consolidation pattern. It does need a pullback right now to about 30.85 if it could do that. If it could hold there and then try to make a move towards 3,400, it does have a possibility of breaking out. Remember the pound was strong against the euro? Well, let's go look at the pound currencies and see if we can find anything correlations. Pound Australian is very strong here. You can see it's bullish trending on both the daily and weekly. Support on this one's going to be 67.42. Resistance, of course, is going to be that pivot high up there, way up there. Pound Switzy, even though this is not bullish as far as sentiment is concerned, last 2 weeks it has had an upward movement here where it kind of destroyed this bearish potential trade here, where it kind of held the support right around 4,000 and broke its resistance level, which was 43.92. Since it broke that resistance level right now, next resistance level is basically 4,600. Which it got to kind of and held there. So it's going to be interesting to see, but this thing's going to probably just enter a consolidation pattern, so it's going to be boring. Pound yen, still very strong as far as bullish concerned. Support is going to be 147.29. Resistance is going to be 154. Pound New Zealand, here you could see not really much doing anything at all. So pound has not won against New Zealand at all. It's stuck between 94.56 and 88.79. Pound USD basically bounced off the bottom here. It's consolidating between resistance of 5,600 and basically right down here. I would say it's about, well, I would say 4,800. So that's boring. So overall, there's not completely where pound is overtaking all the currencies out there because it is weak against Switzerland and the others. So there's nothing really strong right now or weak across all currencies except Australian, where that is weak against all the currencies out there. New Zealand CAD, if you look at this, not really much going on. Resistance on this one to 83.63. Support on this guy is going to be basically 80.50. New Zealand Switzy, nothing much going on here. It is bearish trending. If it could break the support of 7,200, this thing can sit there and start a trend to the downside, but it doesn't seem like it wants to. Major resistance on this one's going to be 76.21 moving forward. New Zealand yen, nothing really much going on. It's stuck between 77.72 and 80.42. It is bullish trending, and it does need a major pullback. So at 80.42, it'll be a good place for this thing to kind of hold and then finally do a major pullback, maybe to about 74. And at that point, sit there and go back and retest the high. But you're talking about a couple of months for that chart pattern to pretty much evolve. New Zealand USD, nothing really going on. This thing's consolidating. However, watch this support here because all this has to do is break down and this thing's going to reverse. So I definitely would keep an eye on this one here around 7,700 because if it breaks that, then this thing's going to, if it breaks 78.93, then this thing can make a move to retest this pivot low and break that and start a bearish trend. Resistance is 81.78, so if it breaks that resistance, all bets are gone for that. Singapore yen, still bullish, but trying to go for a major pullback, which it hasn't done yet. Resistance is 77.88. Support on this one's going to be basically roughly, I would say 76. US CAD, still very strong bullish. It's at a major support right now, which kind of bounced off, which is basically 31. Resistance is 310. and the resistance is 378. If it breaks 378, then this thing can go higher. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that and look for that. But the daily is starting to look very ugly to a point. Looks like this thing just wants to consolidate. US yen, consolidating, nothing really going on. This is boring. 9,200 support. Resistance on this one's going to be about, I would say about 94, let's just say 95. USDKK, nothing really going on here. This is boring too. It's stuck between 60.55 and 65.80. USD Hong Kong, nothing really going on here. Stuck between 75.30 and basically resistance 75.64. US yen, interesting how it could never sit there and hold its 100 again. So it's trying to do a major pullback on this one, but it's at a major resistance level right now, which is 98.33, and the minor support is going to be 97.47. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with this one in the next couple of weeks. US NOK had this nice little movement up, pulled back too much, kind of stuck right now. And its resistance level is basically 9,600. Support level is going to be basically, I would say, about 8,500 on this one. USD, SEK, really nothing going on that one. Just skip that, it's boring. US Singapore, it held a support, believe it or not, at 25.61. It's trying to make a move to 2800, which is a resistance level. If it breaks that, this thing is going to sit there and break up, believe it or not. So keep an eye on this one. It is in consolidation pattern right now, but it is holding very nicely for a bullish pattern long term as far as the US Singapore dollar is concerned. Okay, and that's it for this week. If I could find this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you in the next couple of weeks. Thank you.